Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 1 p.m. here in Crystal Lake, Illinois. That means it's time for another live stream. Today is Thursday. We made it all the way to Thursday already. August 25th, 2022. How you doing today, guys? I am wiped out. I am exhausted. I did not bring any water with me on my long run today, 16 miles. I didn't think it'd be a problem because I had two gels with me, science and sport. Um, but and it wasn't that hot today. It was like 70 something degrees when I went for my run, but it was like 100% humidity. And I just started instantly sweating and it was a struggle. And now I think I'm just going to be wrecked for the rest of the day. So everyone listening on the podcast, hopefully you're having a good run and not making the same mistake that I did. And then you have a better run than I did today. And everyone listening and watching on YouTube later, not live, welcome to you guys as well. Oh, I need to take a breath. Guys, I'm going to try to keep the energy up today, but man, I'm just struggling. I only got in like an hour ago. So I took a shower, ate some food, but struggling to get moving again. All right, let's see who we got in the chat. We got Eliza that says, "Hi, co-fan," with a wave. She says, "Great interview with Dakota Lindworm." Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I had a chance to talk with her and put the interview together. I think one of the things I'm trying to do is keep the interview short. I'm not a long form person. So, keep them a little bit shorter, make it less of a commitment for the athletes or whoever else I'm interviewing, and keep it fun and interesting and help us to learn more about the athletes, not on a completely unrelated to running level, but more as a runner and as a human being. And hopefully that's something that came across. Thanks everybody for watching. Sean said, "Hi everyone, with a wave ran 12 and fresh out of the box Mach 5s, and it made the miles much more enjoyable today." Nice. Hey, there you go. That's a commitment. 12 miles out of the box. But I mean, for a Mach 5, that's a good shoe. It has been getting a lot of good reviews, so I'd feel comfortable doing that myself. Duke BB22 said, "Code, did you order the Fresh Foam More version 4? I didn't, because I feel like I just got a lot of shoes here right now that I need to get through. And I'm like, there's part of me that's like, hurry up and order it. But I'm also like, maybe New Balance will send them to me if I just wait long enough. And I'm not in a hurry to get them because there's just a lot in the queue already. So, I didn't order them, but I'm very much looking forward to running in them. I was thinking about them a lot today because today my long run was in the SC Trainer. So I'm like, all right, New Balance has two max basic. Well, I don't think the SC Trainer really falls in the max cushion genre, but they have two tall stack height shoes. So it's like, yeah. JC says, "Hola, amigos." General Alice says, "Yo." Eliza says, "Today was so humid, I filled my shoes with sweat. Still sipping coconut water to try and get hydrated." Yeah, I just can't drink enough fluid. I'm at that point, I'm like, it wasn't that long of a run. It was 2.5 hours, but it's just like, ugh. It just makes me feel terrible like the rest of the day when you don't get the hydration right. And I'm like, oh man, I got my daughter's first cross country meet today. I'm really excited for that. I think it might be too early to chase her around the course, but I do want to make sure that, I'm participating, I'm cheering for her, and that she sees me out there and all that. And I'm hoping that I'm just not out there and ugh, and grumpy and tired. So I gotta get back hydrated. I gotta bounce back. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It was so hot, and my shoes were soaking wet by the time I did run a little bit through grass today, but yeah, and my shoes are just soaking wet. Martha's here. She gives a wave. Good to see you, Martha. PG says, "Hi, Kovuzi. Just back from a 10K run, and it feels so good." Smiley face emoji. Didn't feel like it, but so glad I went now. See, those runs are the best when you're like, I don't know if I'm going to do this today. And then you go out and you have a great day. Isn't that great when that happens? It's not always that it happens, but when it does, it's nice. Sean Devlin says about the Dakota Lindworm interview. For the thumbnail, I wrote Dakota Lindworm, her name real big on it, and then I wrote underneath Mayor of Duluth. And Sean said, "I thought she was actually the mayor of Duluth for a minute. Had to Google it, LOL." A couple of people have said that, so maybe I need to change that thumbnail, or maybe put mayor air quotes on there, because the story is that apparently her teammates have been teasing her, saying that she's like the mayor of Duluth. Because every time she goes up there, she's won grandma twice now. Um, everyone, she gets a lot of attention because she's had such success. So her teammates kind of tease her a little bit, and so I thought that'd be funny to put as the title. But a couple of people have said, like, is she really the mayor? That's not the mayor. So maybe it does need to change. Maybe it's a little bit misleading. Yeah, Martha's like, maybe New Balance will send you the FF more. Yeah, I don't know what's coming with. I don't think I've worked with the PR company that I'm running New York with. I feel like that'd be a good one to send, but I don't know how many people they're working with or what the budget is. So maybe I'll get it, maybe I won't from them. But either way, I will be reviewing the shoe. Like once. See, I still gotta finish doing the Endorphin Pro 3 review. The SC Trainer review will hopefully come out tomorrow. I gotta do the Magic Speed 2 review. Endorphin Speed, that's 4 right there. So that's a lot. I gotta finish the Koros Vertex 2 review as well. But that watch just will not die. I'm on week 3 without a charge. And there's a nice battery screen on it too. And it tells you like how many, since the last charge, how many hours of GPS tracking have you done? How many days? It's been 21 days since I last charged a battery on that watch, and still got like 20% battery left. I'm running out of patience. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to film the review and say it has this many hours, this many days of battery life before I need it to finally charge it. It's amazing. And just leave it and then write in a number later, because I don't want to wait. Things are going to get even busier as we get close to marathons. So it's like, it's a lot of work, but it's great. A lot of fun stuff coming down the pike too, Eric Trapp is here. It's good to see you, Eric. It says, hey, Co and Co. First time catching a live stream in a minute. Hope all are doing well. It's good to see you again, man. Welcome back. I am have Pedro says, good afternoon, everyone. Nice run, Co, this morning. I also ran out of water yesterday, and he had 94 degrees Fahrenheit. That's so hot, so hot. Shannon says, hey, Co and Co. The more version 4 looks tempting, as do discounted Invincibles version 1s. Love the cushion. Boring Triumph 19 run this AM. Yeah. Well, I mean, I like the Triumph 19. Wait, was it the Triumph? What number Triumph are we on? Did I read the Triumph already this year? I don't even know. The last one that they did, whatever number that was, I liked it more than the year before that. That's what I remember. Man, this year's been a blur. A lot's happened this year. Adam says, do you have a cow? I do have the cowbell today. So you gotta let me know if anyone's got a cowbell. Azizjan Sharavoff says, hello from New York. Double waves, welcome. And Britt Nicole 248 says she has a question. Do some emojis up front. I appreciate that. Sign up for my first half this November. It's on a rail trail, gravel. What shoes do you suggest with a lower drop? I just got the Mach 5, but won't want to wear them and trash the outsoles. Okay. I mean, rail trails are great because assuming that it's not wet, like if it didn't rain like a couple of days beforehand, it's going to be pretty firm packed for the most part. I mean, I know there can be variation, but my experience has been it's pretty firm packed. I've run like time trials on rail trail. I don't think I've done a rail trail race unless you count Tunnel Marathon as a rail trail, but it's not really rail trail. Anyway, it's like Fire Route, but I've done time trials in everything from like Endorphin Pros, Meta Racer. I think I've done them in like Zoom Streaks, so like you could do it pretty much in anything. If you want to do a lower drop, let's see. I think a Rincon wouldn't help you very much either. Although the Rincon has a little bit more rubber, at least it has some rubber on the outsole. So that could be one to consider. Let me see. What else is there? what is the drop on the New Balance Rebel or the Puma Liberate? I'm not sure what the drops are on those, but those also could be a lot of fun. And so what I think of it like with the rail trail, it's a little bit softer than pavement, but still firm enough for your road shoes. So I think about like shoes that might be a little bit too firm for me to do a race. Um, those become options all of a sudden. And I guess it depends also on the distance, Britt. You didn't tell me what the distance is. But if it, I'm just, so I'm kind of staying in like the speed shoe category for you, since you mentioned the Mach 5 is kind of your starting point. But those are some that I might look at. I think those could be a lot of fun. But I feel like there's usually not a lot of terrible choices as long as it's not that wet. Like either during or in the immediate couple of days, maybe a few days beforehand, because the rail trails do kind of like hold on to water sometimes. Sean wants to know what camera setup will my daughter be running with today. No camera setup. I did let her borrow my Polar Pacer Pro though, um, because and not because of she's not to use for running. Um, but because we've been letting her like hang out with her friends after school, and she's been like riding her bike around the neighborhood, and she doesn't, she doesn't have a phone, so she needed a watch to know what time it was so she could come home. And I was like, "Where's your Fitbit?" And she very conveniently has lost her Fitbit. Well, she always uses that Fitbit, so I just like let her borrow a watch for a little while. I also like got her like the Polar. Well, I didn't get her, but I had the Polar. I can't remember if it's the Ignite 2 or Unite. I think it's Ignite 2 that I thought she might like, but the time is wrong on it, and I forgot how to adjust the time on that watch. I think I might have to like pair it to my phone or something. But yeah, so that's her gear. I think she's going to be racing in a pair of Kids Nova Blast 2s. I'm positive that it's not FF Blast, but I think it's like their Amplify foam. But it looks like a Nova Blast too. And the last race she did was in a pair of like Adidas like casual shoes. So like this is definitely an upgrade. The other shoe she has is a Nike. I don't know what it is, but just like a Nike generic kids running shoe. Shannon is, which shoe are you trying to get through reviewing that is your least appealing right now? I would say that it's probably the On Cloud Monster. The thing is, it's a pretty good shoe, but I mentioned it the other day. I was like, 1 out of every 3 runs in that shoe is great. And I'm like, oh, I really like this shoe. It's underrated. And then the next 2 will be like, this is okay. But for whatever reason, it's just not that exciting to me. I mean, I know they were trying to go for a little bit more of like a let's be weird kind of look with it. I think trying to like borrow a page from like the Hoka handbook where they were like, Hoka was like, for a while, it was just like unapologetically like Hoka. Remember that? So I think they were trying to like test out the waters in that space, but like it doesn't, that shoe just, I prefer the look of the On Cloud Stratus, but I do like the On Cloud Monster a little bit more. But that's the one that I'm having a difficult time with because I'm like, this isn't a bad shoe. I'm just not that excited about it. Yeah, yeah. I guess. So I guess that's the least appealing. I guess. All right. Shannon says Triumph version 20 is coming out soon. I mean, I feel like if it doesn't come out, if the shoe doesn't come out in September, I mean, it's like, I know Adidas usually like buries some releases like November or so, but like, I mean, I feel like if it doesn't come out in the next couple of weeks, we might not be getting it this year, you know? 1HP wants to know, I got the Shift 3. I don't think Saucony sent me, has Saucony sent me shoes this year? They sent me the whole line last year. But I've never been a fan of the Shift. I just think that it's a very structured shoe and it has a lot of things that I don't love. So I probably will not be reviewing it because there's so much like armor on it. There's so much stuff on it, and it always makes me think that it's gonna hurt my knees. So, that's all. Oh, cowbell is for the daughters race. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, our house has like many cowbells, but I actually don't know where any of them are. That's a good idea. We should bring the big cowbell. We have a big one. It's not as big as Grandma and Grandpa's cowbell. They have a real cowbell. It's like rusty and still dirty, but that thing's giant. They're like this big. But like we have like one with like a really nice handle on it, very pink. The girls picked it out. That one's super loud. Maybe I'll have to find that. I'll have to bring it. Oh, Martha says that the tunnel course was a rail trail. Well, I mean, I know there was that train tunnel, but that train was able to go down all that downhill. I feel like that would have been a pretty scary ride for the train engineer. Oh, okay. Yeah. That was a fun course. When HP says, I'm doing a half Sunday on a rail trail. Hopefully no rain, although we could use it here in Western New York. All right, well, good luck. I feel like half marathons on rail trails it's a fun distance. Sorry guys, I gotta keep drinking water. I'm really struggling. I mean, I feel like my heart rate was high during my run, and now I'm just like exhausted. Oh. Lena says, hey, Covan, might to the party, but made it. FYI, Big Sur Marathon Lottery opens today. It's a beautiful course, if it's not fogged out, but definitely hilly. All right. You had me until hilly. Oh, man. I guess I do like hilly courses. My body likes hilly courses. I don't like hilly courses. That's the thing. Mr. Random says, hello, Kofuzi family. How the devil are we doing? Finding some rain in London town. A month of rain in a few hours. Oh, hopefully you don't guys have any problems with it. But I'm glad you guys are getting some rain. You guys have had a pretty hot summer this year out there, I think. All right, let me scroll down and catch up to you guys. I'm really far behind. All right. Mika says, I have to run 3 to 4 runs each week with fairly stable shoe, hence the Boston 9s, hook up with wide base, etc. So the shift makes a lot of sense for me. Stability shoes are too much because it causes different problems. Okay, yeah. I know this shift is not like strictly a stability shoe, but it feels like one to me. So I don't know. But Shannon says that the Tempest is a stability shoe that a teammate is really liking. I think she used to run in the shift. The Tempest is really interesting, but that also looks like a very heavily stabilized shoe. So people have a couple, like, I don't think it was Saucony, but someone reached out to me to see if I'd want to review it. And I was like, I don't know if maybe it was Roadrunner Sports. Someone sent me an email and I was like, yeah, thanks, but I don't think I'm going to like that one. And I don't like to review shoes that I don't think I'm going to like. I mean, I know that means that I won't be surprised sometimes, but sometimes I go venture outside of my comfort zone, but like, yeah, I don't know. The stability shoes is kind of where I'm like, there's a lot of shoes out there. I feel like you should probably send that to someone that likes stability shoes, maybe. Right. Andrew wants to know, what camera bag do I use, if any? I don't use a camera bag. I was actually looking at some because I had been doing so much travel, and like a lot of stuff I don't want to put in a carry-on or even my bigger luggage. So I always have this giant backpack of stuff, and I just feel like it's a lot of things, and I maybe need to be more careful with them. I have, I can't reach them right now, but I have like these kind of like neoprene. They're a little bit thicker than just neoprene, but like sleeves that my lenses can go in, so I kind of stuff everything in the bag. And then I just bought like a hard lens case that my drone fits inside. So I feel like I've been traveling kind of like that. But what I would like is kind of like, if a bag is this big, I would like to, that's why I'm looking at camera bags, is because the camera bags do a good job of like dividing. having like a floor or sections, because like when I fly, there's a lot of stuff that I want to carry with me because it's fragile or it's a big battery, so I can't put it in carry-on luggage that I'm not going to access during the flight. But there's other stuff that I will, like maybe I'll bust the camera out. Maybe I need one of my battery packs, and so like I would like to have a little bit more separation, but I don't have any trips coming up for a little while, so I'm gonna just wait on that maybe for a little bit longer. But yeah, it's something I've been thinking about. Mm. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Rain Run wants to know, Cozy, what's the running like in your new town? Trails or roads or both? I think there's a decent number of people in the neighborhood that run around like right after they drop off their kids or before they get their kids up in the morning. Because I've been spotting people kind of like jogging around the neighborhood. I've done that before here, but like I don't love running around in the subdivision. Um, I mean, I don't know. I just don't want the neighbors seeing me running around all the time, I guess. But there are a lot of little parks and nature preserves in the area. So like within not more than like a 10-minute drive, there's a lot of spots that I've been going to. I found one area that I really like. It's a bike trail. It's called the Prairie Trail that I use for my workouts. Anything that I want, something that's relatively flat, or like, although nothing out here is like perfectly flat, but like a place that's flat enough to do workouts. And then for all the other days, there's lots of little trails that are, the way I figured out little loops that are anywhere between like 3.5 to 5 mile loops that could easily be lappable. And so sometimes they'll do one lap, sometimes they'll do two. All the trails are pretty mild around here. There's one spot in the Stearns Fen that we've talked about where depending on how you go, it can get pretty like overgrown and a little bit hilly. But that's also good too. So like I kind of like that one because it gives a little bit of variety, and I feel like a little bit of hill work will be good for me. So for like easy days, I've been kind of like sticking mainly to trails, but like even on those days, like I've taken like the Velocity Nitro, just a regular everyday trainer road shoe on them, and they've done okay, So I don't have to like, so I can still do enough like road shoe testing. But like there's a lot more like soft surface options for me, but like I'm spending a lot more time on just like hard pack gravel, which has been really nice and very good on the body. So the running here is actually really good. Maybe not as scenic sometimes as it is down by the lakefront, but the lakefront's pretty hard on the body because it's all concrete. Sometimes it's blacktop. And very few times there's little slivers of like gravel that you can run on, but it's not all the time. And so, trade-offs. But I'm liking it. Adam says, saw a couple of foxes on my run this morning. Name that song and artist? I don't know. I'm not sure. It's not ringing a bell for me. Andrew says, I just got in the Wandered. What is that? Provoke? Is that how you say that? Ugh, I hate it when companies take the vowels out. It makes it so hard. Wandered Provoke 31-liter camera bag. Moving on from a Thule camera bag, looking for lots of inspiration on how to set up the camera storage part. You can get lost. I mean, that's a whole subgenre of camera YouTube, is how to set up your camera bag or which camera bag to get, or but 31 liters, that's pretty big. That's a big bag. So yeah, you'll have lots of options in there, I feel like. I've been using primarily my Osprey Daylight Plus as my travel bag. That's a 25-liter bag. And then when I went out to San Luis Obispo, a bag that was surprisingly roomy. I got as a gift the Hoka Western States bag from 2 years ago. It's just one big giant like bag. Like there's just like one compartment. There's a couple of like organizers like built into it, but not like a lot of separate dividers, and there's no like laptop sleeve. So you need to fill all that stuff in yourself. But like in terms of just space, it was surprisingly spacious. That was a nice one. I don't remember who made the bag, but that was a good one. But most of the time, I'm traveling with the Osprey Daylight Plus. Rainer says, in terms of when I was mentioning running around the neighborhood, Rainer says, I walk to the end of my block so the neighbors don't see me run. That's funny. Kit wants to know, a random question. When you ran the courses that weren't USATF certified, had you noticed the courses to be either much shorter or longer than the claimed distance? I have not noticed that. The only time that I've noticed it is when races are not chip timed. That's when I notice it. But even then, it's not always the case. But I also feel like it's like, we're not even chip timing you. What does it matter if it's 3.12, 3.14, or 3.18, or 3.0? You know, like, so I feel like that's kind of how it can go. Because a lot of times those kinds of races are more like family events, run walks, fun runs, that kind of thing. I feel like if the word fun runs in there, then it's like 5K is that's why it's 5K and not 5,000. It's an estimate, or an approximation. Kind of like how in ultra distance races, like 100Ks are never exactly measured to be 100K. Some of them are 105K or more, you know. So, but yeah, I mean, just the fact that it's not USATF certified, I haven't thought of it. Usually I feel like if it's chip timed, that's good enough for me to count it as my personal PR. I'm not like submitting it, you know, anywhere. If I were, the only other time that I might be concerned about something like that is if I were trying to BQ. But then I would make sure that that race is BQ eligible. Not every marathon race is BQ eligible. So that's like the only thing that I would make sure to check. 1HP says, I run in my neighborhood frequently. Shortly after, I got several messages saying, I saw you running. Wouldn't recommend, for the sake of time, it works best for me. Yeah, that's the thing where I'm like, even if it's like driving 5 minutes and back, that's 10 minutes, you know, of difference in time. And sometimes, you know, the schedule demands that you get that extra 10 minutes. Or maybe you only had 30 minutes to run to begin with. Having 40 would be extra nice, you know. So I see what you're saying. But I've been pretty lucky so far. And Martha says, Adam really did see a fox or two. It's on the Strava upload today. You know what's funny is I've never seen any foxes in this neighborhood. I've seen so much wildlife since I've been here. There's chipmunks everywhere. I've never seen so many chipmunks. It seems to be the predominant form of wildlife. And there's this another kind of bird that I'm not really that familiar with, but there's tons of them here. It's like a fancy pigeon. I don't know. It's got like a very decorated tail. It looks a little different. I always tend to like startle them as I run by, and then they startle me as I fly away. And then so many deer. I haven't seen any foxes yet, which has been a bit surprising. Eric says, "Is it a wood pigeon? Is that a real bird? I don't know." Yeah, but it's like a similar gray color, and then instead of the tail getting like pointy like a pigeon's tail, it flares out almost like a I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a birder. I don't know the birds very well. So, but there's a ton of them here. I mean, there's a lot of wildlife. I mean, most of the time I'm running by farms. Or I'm in a nature preserve. So, I mean, there's been a lot. I mean, there's just a lot of wildlife. Eliza says, I've been chased by angry turkeys in the area. Do not recommend. I think that there are some wild turkeys in this area too. I know I've seen them in Iowa for sure. And it's not like geographically from like a climate and like animal habitat perspective. It's not that far away. So I think I've seen some of them here. But like the wild turkeys are always so much smaller than you think, you know? So I'm like, what, did I just see a turkey? Maybe that was a pheasant. Or was it a quail? Do quails live around? You know, that's kind of how I always get. Adam's on fire today. If you were in Indiana, it might be a Larry Bird. Oh, it's funny. It's funny. Martha says wild turkeys can be mean. Yeah, the turkeys are mean. JC says geese are kind of mean. Geese are very mean. I feel like geese are really petty too, and I feel like they recognize people. They say crows recognize people as well. Did I tell you guys we had to I had to call the like the pest like exterminator because we have all these hornets that are like trying to build a like a sorry they're trying to build hornet like nests on the house. And I asked the guy as we're out, I was watching him work, and I'm like, "Hey, do you think like hornets like recognize people? Like, do you think they remember?" Because he was like, "Because yesterday I was out here, and there's all these hornets on the house, so I just got the hose out and started spraying them. Do you think they remember me from yesterday?" And he's like, "I think that hornets have memory, but I don't know if they remember you as the guy from yesterday." He could have been making up the whole thing. I have no idea. I asked him. I was like a 5-year-old asking, like a zookeeper questions about the animals. Like I had all these questions, and I'm like, I don't know. He probably gets these all day, and he exterminates these things. So I'm sure he knows a little bit about them and has picked it up over the course of his work in this trade. But I'm also like, does he know that much? I don't know. Maybe I'm expecting a lot. Yeah. Eric says, "Oh yeah, about 60 plus runners got nailed by wasps and hornets on course during Leadville. Totally weird random attacks apparently, and I got one. Oh man, oh boy, just got splashed by my water bottle." JC says, "I've tried repeatedly to piss off crows in my yard to see if they remember me. Oh, they will. If you do that, they will remember you. Crows are very intelligent. They work with tools, they work in teams, and they have long memories, I think." Leona said, "Didn't Megan Murray say she got a bee suit to help get rid of the nest for her parents?" Yeah. I was listening to that podcast today on my run, and I was like, someone has to watch these guys on their Amazon account. They're buying jeweler's loops, bee suits. I thought they were getting bee suits to do as their costume, as their outfit for the running event this year. I didn't know that they were going to actually use the bee suit for a bee suit purpose. That was the twist and surprise for me. Mika says, "We have millions of deer fly everywhere in the forest right now. I've been pulling them out of my beard for hours now. Really nasty things." I'm not sure I know what that is, but that sounds gross. Ugh. Up here, because we're pretty much close to Wisconsin up here, it reminds a lot of times when I'm running, it reminds me of the time I ran up in Devil's Lake, Wisconsin, where the bugs were just angry. All the bugs were angry and they were all giant. It's like being in the Far Side. Remember those comics? When the prehistoric bugs were just enormous. But there's always this, I don't know what kind of bug it is, but it's like, it kind of looks like a beetle, but I don't know. Like a round beetle, not like a scarab or a cockroach kind of beetle. But not that the cockroach is a beetle. But anyway, there's this like round bug, and it bites, and it's strong enough that like it can just get you even if you've got like full coverage clothes on. Like, and it'll just bite me through like my singlet. It'll bite me if one bit me through my running shirt. I get bit by one like every day, every run. It's usually on like the last quarter of the run. That's when all of a sudden I just, that something stung all of a sudden, and then like almost instantly after that, intensely itchy. So that's just where I'm at. All right, here we go from Eric. He says he did the LT 100K this time, but determined to make it happen next time in Leadville. Doubted myself as the sunset. Good to go through the mental struggles. Still a great experience, though. Can't wait to go back. That's awesome. Great job, Eric. And it says here, it says, "Hi, Kofuzing, everybody. Just in from circuit training. My muscles are sore now." Ooh. Yeah. You know what I was just thinking? I was thinking that I do need to do more cross training, not like cross training, but like I need to do more strength training. I didn't do any of it again, as I predicted, but hoped that wouldn't be true. But I don't know. I've at least been still doing my mobility work. I still do that, but just always manage to put that off. All right, let's do a couple more, and then I'm gonna get going for today. Man, I'm still feeling like really wiped out. Like I can't drink enough water. Ugh. Leona says, by the way, how did you find Believe in the Run? I think all of us Kafusians are fans now. I used to watch, I watched them on YouTube. There was a time, I don't know how many subscribers it was, but in the beginning, they didn't, I think they were mainly web first, and they started making some YouTube videos. I don't know what the subscriber count was when I started watching them, because like there's an option on your YouTube channel to hide your subscriber count. I don't know if that's still an option now, but they did that, and I was like, I don't know how big they are, but I don't know. They're making a lot of videos. They're getting all these shoes. So the production value was very different than it is now. Thomas used to just shoot in front of like a wall in his house. It was just like a white plain wall. So that was a long time ago. And then it was in front of a brick wall for a while. I'm trying to think, are there brick walls at his house? I don't remember where that one was, but yeah, it's been a long time that I've just been watching them on YouTube and became friends. Let's see. Here's one from Matthias Ventost. Is the fuel cell rover version 3 being available on Roadrunner a mistake? It's not on Running Warehouse. I would double check it, because on Roadrunner Sports, what they do is they will they'll take pre-orders on a lot of shoes. So try selecting a color in your shoe size and see if it becomes available. I want to say that I've gotten shoes early by mistake from Running Warehouse before. I don't think I've gotten things early by mistake from Roadrunner Sports before, but I could be confusing that. It was a couple of years ago. We talked about it the other day. It was the Vomero 14, I think that happened. That's the last time I ever got a shoe like accidentally early. No, it's happened other times since then. I just don't remember where. But double check on that, Matthias, because I thought the Rover version 3 wasn't going to come out till September, or maybe later. Maybe it's out already. I don't know. Everything's happening like, it went from like, oh, I don't know when that's coming out, to like, oh, everything's here or about to be here, because it's almost September 1st. So, double check. But like, yeah, a lot of times, but Running Warehouse is starting to do it too now, I think. But like, yeah, whenever I see a shoe, I'm like, oh, it's up early. I'm going to get it. Hurry up and order it. And then like I select my size 9, and then it says, we'll ship this, pre-order it now, and we'll ship it on September 1. So that's been happening to me a lot. And I'm like, oh man. But then again, like someone who was saying it yesterday in the chat here, that like, I forget what a website they ordered from. They pre-ordered the Nova Blast 3, and they've already got an email saying that their orders are going to be delayed till late September. I don't know if that's true. I haven't got confirmation on that, because I don't remember I don't think ASICS.com does pre-orders. So I'm trying to figure out if that was a pre-order thing, or if that person had news about the date slipping. But I don't think the date's slipping on that. Anyway, so there's positives to pre-ordering too. So, yeah, but yeah, we'll have to double check on that. All right. Oh, look. Looks like we got a birthday in here. Whose birthday is it? Oh, it's Innes's birthday. Happy birthday, Innes. Hopefully I got the right button. No. There it is. That's the right button. I don't use buttons C and D very often, so that's why I keep messing up. But sorry about that, but happy birthday. All right. I think that's a good place to end it for today, everybody. Tomorrow, hopefully, if I'm not too wiped out from today's run, hopefully tomorrow we'll have the video on the SC trainer from New Balance. And if not, then it'll be the next day. But either way, we'll do a live stream again, same time as today, last one for the week, Friday, 1 p.m. Central Time. Hopefully I'll see you then. In the meantime, be safe out there, everybody.